there we are. Hello.
I,
Hi,
I
Internet.
remember my first podcast.
Yeah, me too. We started at episode 917, our very first one. We're breaking the mold here. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah,
Been a
why
long
can't you
week.
just make a podcast where it just counts down to zero?
That's right. We started episode 1000 and it's a straight
Yeah.
countdown. Oh, man. All right. Looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing fine. I don't even have the software open that I need to keep an eye on chat. Let's do that. Then we'll be ready.
Oh, I got this weird.
Okay, you started that
This weird-
sentence sounding like you were going to pull another joke from the calendar. I was going to lose it. I thought you were like, so y'all hear about this pain I have? And it's like, no, get out.
No, so I got some bad news for you, Boston, on
Okay.
that front. I'm cleaning.
I'm
So did you find the sarcasm book then?
I'm terrified of what's going to come next.
What did the tree do when
Oh
the
my
bank was
God.
I
closed?
knew it. I knew it.
It started its own branch.
I've regretted every life choice that has led us to two of them.
Did you hear about the shipload of paint that wrecked and marooned all of the sailors?
No.
It marooned them. It was paint. It marooned them. Do you not understand the joke, Boston? They
No,
got
I
marooned
get
'cause
it.
was
I
paint.
just, my soul is fracturing.
What's another name for an eyedropper?
What?
A clumsy ophthalmologist. Because they drop your eyes. Why is this coffee so muddy?
Why is it so muddy?
It was ground yesterday.
That doesn't. Oh my God,
You-
these are so bad.
I enjoy the little
only get a
flip of the
page.
cover that you did there.
It even comes with a warning on this book that says bad jokes can happen to good dads. So I'm just gonna put this one right over here so I
I hate
remember
it
it
so
next
much.
week. Where can I put it? I'll put it right here.
Put it right in the
Right
wood
here.
chipper.
I was gonna say, isn't there a trash can behind you?
That's right.
It is like directly behind me. Yes. What I was originally going to mention until Boston prompted his own demise, which I wasn't even going to bring it up, and you mentioned another joke, but I can't use the calendar. But I do have a book, so thank you very much, Boston, for the 2 times a week dad joke section.
I hate everything.
No, I was going to talk about the Conqueror virtual challenges.
I don't know. I have never heard about any of this. Now I'm curious.
This might be something good for you based on your exercise traditions.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically it is an app that has a bunch of challenges in them,
Mm-hmm.
and it tracks steps. So it tracks your exercise steps essentially, and it gives you rewards and medals and things like that based on how many steps you take.
Okay.
The one that was specifically pushed to me is a Lord of the Rings virtual challenge,
Oh,
where
no.
it is 9 different challenges, and the steps you have to take is the equivalent of the steps that they take to get from one place to the other in it.
Oh, jeez.
And
Okay.
And you unlock, like, it gives you a medal, and it gives you, like, a story and an interactive, like, app that you could, as you do the steps from location to location, it gives you new story beats and plot points, and then once you complete the challenge, it sends you like a medal with like a collectible like thing inside of it.
Follow Bilbo Baggins on an unexpected adventure through Middle Earth. Get active to explore legendary realms. So this is the Conqueror.events. These medals, especially the one with Smaug on it,
They look pretty good, dude.
Pretty cool, man.
And like some of them are like interactive. So those one of the Lord of the Rings ones comes with the one ring inside of it.
Yeah, the
Like,
Smaug one
it's-
has like a key in the back that opens up and has like a little gem in there.
They look really sick, dude.
I do. If anybody has heard me talk about Destiny in the last couple of years, I do love a good
You
medal.
do like collect? Yes, you do. And like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I really need to exercise more. And if I'm gonna gamify my exercise, this might be the way to go.
So we have Lord of the Rings, the Magical School we don't talk about, The Hobbit, Looney Tunes, Scooby Doo, Tomb Raider,
Game
Elvis
of
Presley.
Thrones.
Wow, these are kind of neat.
They look really cool, dude. And like, I got fed a commercial for it, and I was like, okay, these are interesting. So I'm not going to click on the ad. I'm just going to Google what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, if you look at them in motion, like, they look so cool when they're in motion, like when they show what they do.
There's also some interesting ones they have here of like the English Channel, 21 miles, 33 kilometers. The width of the English Channel between England and France.
Yep.
I don't
So
know.
they have like a bunch of like collaboration ones, and they have a bunch of like just normal ones that you can do. And it's like they're not cheap, but they're also
Sure.
not expensive considering what they are.
How much were they?
Well, if you get the full set of 9, I think for the Lord of the Rings, I
Mhm.
think it's like $250, something like that.
I mean, that's a lot of cash, but these are
But
big.
the medals look cool as shit. They look
Yeah.
interesting, and not to mention it does have the app and everything else at the same time. And it's just like,
I'm gonna download this app, and let's see. Even if I don't buy any medals, I like the idea of having something else there to like. Cause like, I use I've tried a bunch of apps. I use the Peloton app because I have a Peloton bike and treadmill. So I use that for the biking, the treadmill, and the outdoor walk and like any strength training I'm doing. Um,
uh-huh.
they do some cool stuff with like badges and gamification and stuff. But I like the idea of having an additional thing here of like, here's just fun challenges. Like you walked the Inca Trail is one here. Like you walked X number of miles to do that. Like I think that's kind of neat. Even if I don't buy stuff, that's kind of neat.
Like they've got one for the Giants Causeway too, which is literally a incredible thing that if Google it if you don't know what it is.
So
But
cool.
it gives you that whole thing of like, yeah, do this distance, and you don't. It's not time limited. You don't have to do it within a certain time frame.
Right.
I think you've got like, I think it's like the Lord of the Rings ones. I think was like you've got like 3 calendar years to do it. I think it was,
Oh wow.
and it's just like, yeah, dude, there's plenty of time. And if I'm gonna get on the exercise bike I have upstairs or the real bike I have outside, like, this might be something to push me along a little bit.
The Fjords of Norway. This is kind of neat. Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Wales Coast Path is cool. There's a dragon on it. Dang. All right,
True.
I'll give this a shot. I'll check this out. Yeah. I was just gonna like fire it up now and be like, oh, just start syncing my data. It's like, nope. Gotta focus. Can't do that right now.
Mm-hmm. Because like the amount you exercise more than probably me and them combined at this point, I would guess.
Yeah.
So you would probably crush them, like real quick crush them. Because it's like, yeah, do 100 miles, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's easy enough.
Yeah, I average somewhere between 11 and 12 miles a ride when I do a bike ride. And then I walk, I don't know, a handful of miles every day. So I'm averaging usually 90 minutes of exercise time every day. Except for Thursday, that's my rest day. I only do 30 minutes.
I know you said you do Peloton. Do you have like the video tours too?
Yep.
As Peloton?
Yep.
Because like the bike I've got has got like, here, hey, cycle this French mountain road.
Or
it's
like,
cool.
You're going through Death Valley for 45 minutes. I was like, hell yeah, man, that's cool. Yeah, I like that stuff too. I like a lot of the stuff. And even if I know there's at least a couple that if you have a physical bike that you'd want to turn into an exercise bike, I know there's a lot of those. I think this is Zwift is like the bigger one of those.
Yeah, it's just a thing that takes the back wheels off the ground essentially.
Yeah. Those seem cool too. All right, are you guys ready to get started?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to a brand new episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Hello.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
Quick plug here for our Patreon over at patreon.com/E1M1 or E1M1.cash.
Those ones are numbers in both instances.
$5 a month tier is the recommended one. That's why we call it Fun for a Fiver. You can get everything over there, including the Uncensored Outcast. Because we're talking about all the non-video game stuff that's happening in our life, like pickles. This week we have an extended section about our love of the pickles, and working out. The two big tentpoles of my life. You get early access.
Pickles have electrolytes.
It's true.
So
that's true. They got what plants crave. You get early access to We Work Like It and Critical Misses. At the $5 tier or higher, you get exclusive access to the Critical Misses production meeting. We're doing all the planning, doing all the spreadsheeting, causing all the psychic damage to each other. Over there, you get exclusive access to the Wayward Sons Supernatural TV show watchcast that Nymph and Moon are going through. They also I scheduled recently my favorite episode of the show that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So you'll be able to enjoy.
Hold on, which one was that?
It's Ghost Facers, of course. How could it be anything else? It can't be anything other than Ghost Facers. So go check out all that stuff, e1m1.cash.
Ones and numbers.
We got a brand new episode of TVGP's Game Club out right now for Lost Records Bloom and Rage Tape 2. Now that we're done, I can finally get the title of that game correct. We recorded, I think it was over an hour for just Tape 2 there yesterday. So if you're listening to the audio version of this, that's in the feed alongside that. And you can listen to the second half of that game and hear us try to come to grips with whatever that game was /is I maybe don't know. So go and check that out. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, I certainly haven't been playing any, as the kids are calling them, the emoticons in Discord, because I was going to give you the old Skype cheer for remembering the Game Club episode.
I wrote it down here with a star in Game Club.
I realized that none of the stuff that I can't do like a screen like explosion anymore.
Oh no!
I can't put my hand up anymore.
What a shame. That's a real shame.
There's a soundboard in here, but I don't know if it'll play through yours and mine. So I'm not going to click that button.
I beg of you.
Like, I want to click that button. I'm not going. Well, it definitely plays across all of them.
It really does.
Don't tell me
for
not
those
to click the button.
who may or may not have heard that, that was an air horn that Nim played across the board. Thanks, Nim.
No problem. Just testing for science.
Okay. Anyway, okay, so I played a little bit of Monster Hunter Wilds, like literally like 10 minutes of Monster Hunter Wilds, because I didn't know what to do anymore.
Now you're done with AC Shadows and you're left adrift?
Like, AC Shadows has been completed and uninstalled. Lost Records Bloom and Rage has been completed and uninstalled. You'll see that on my social media feeds at some point this week, if I remember. Diablo 3, the other game I played this week, has been done and uninstalled. So it's just
look
like,
at how many hundreds of gigs you're freeing up here.
Yeah, exactly.
Turning over a new leaf.
I did a little bit of Monster Hunter. I got like another big crown on one of the monsters that I'm looking for the big crown for. So it's like, cool. I got that.
Yes. Something the matter?
I got that checked off my list. In Wilds for that. And it's just like, yeah, cool. But the problem is I can't pause that game because I play. It's an online game. So I can't pause it while I'm doing laundry or whatever, and if a monster attacks me, it's like, oh, no, the food in the oven, I have to kill the monster before I get the food.
Right.
It's not great, we'll say. It's not one of those games that I can multitask with. I have to sit down and play it. But yes, I also did all of the achievements in Bloomin' Rage, which is just like cool. Thank you. Go check out the 2 Game Club episodes we did on those. And yeah, Diablo 3 was the only other thing I played. I got my 500 bounties done. I got my characters to level 70. Thank you, seasonal mode, for the very. So, you know how characters in Diablo like share the stash and everything, in the game, and like you start a seasonal character, and it's like, yo, seasonal characters don't share nothing, dude. Get ready to just do
fresh
this.
start.
Yep.
Did you know that if you create a second seasonal character, they do share a stash with the original seasonal character?
Yes.
I did, yes.
During the
means-
current season, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So when I started my second seasonal character, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to unlock the thing that lets me hit, equip level 70 weapons again and go back and do all that kind of. Nope. I could just make level 70 weapons from the get-go, from level 1,
Yep.
and immediately equip them, and then just like wreck some fools.
All your vendors are totally upgraded. You got the Herodric Cube. You got it all.
Yep, I can. The 4 skills that I managed to get in that one seasonal character, I just put them straight on the other characters, and this is like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing now. Is we're just gonna immediately just crush some people as like a level 1 character doing level 70 damage with my. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because that actually threw me for a surprise, because I had forever ago, when I was getting the platinum, I had to do the one hardcore character to level 70.
Yeah.
But your Paragon points will carry over into hardcore mode as well. So I had that same exact thing where I was playing as a witch doctor, and I was just wiping the floor with everything. The only time it became an issue was because I had the DLC for the Angel of Death. And fighting that boss at the end of that DLC was the closest I had ever come to dying in hardcore mode, and it freaked me out for a moment.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Also, Paragon points transfer throughout seasonal characters if they're in the same season too.
Yes.
By the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I looked almost like, I think it was August 2015 was when I got my first achievement in that game.
Wow. Okay.
Oh boy.
So literally a 10-year gap between the first achievement and my final retail achievement. No, I don't have the DLC. No, I will not be buying the DLC. I need to uninstall some games.
Oh,
It is. It probably is. But also at the same time, I've got 17,000 other games that I want to play and can't because
You're
I don't
finally
have
free
time.
of one of them. Don't
Yeah,
pull
and
yourself
you-
that
Yeah,
rule.
it's like,
You already got it out of your system, because when I bought Diablo 3, that thing came out twice, wasn't it? It was a
yeah, it was a
Wasn't it on-
360 game as well.
I was gonna
Just
say,
to
wasn't
really
it
mess
360,
with your head.
PS3, and PS4?
It was
Yeah.
a 360 game too. Yes.
So when I bought it again for the PS4, that was the one that it packaged in the DLC.
Yeah.
So for me, like, the DLC was just always part of the story because it came.
Yeah.
with
I
it.
just
But-
have a 5th act. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, since you've already completed what you wanted to do, yeah, it's not worth it to go back for it.
Yeah.
But if you
There's a
already
Diablo
had
4
it,
for me. If I feel like going back in, there's a Diablo 4 that exists that I can
Yeah,
jump into
you
and
know.
play whenever I feel like it.
that's not wrong. But
You're technically right.
Yeah. But I've also got, like, Indiana Jones and Stalker and Doom the Dark Ages and a bajillion other games that I
And
desperately would like to
Adamfall
play.
Yeah.
Yep, too many games, not enough time, too much working, not enough relaxing. That is my life at the moment. Who would have thought that the guy who works too much is still working too much?
What?
Never would have guessed that. But there was something else with Diablo. I was like, as I was playing Diablo 3, I was like, this game takes forever to load.
Yes.
We don't know how good we have it now because this game takes forever to load. And then I went to uninstall it and I realized I had it installed on my external drive.
Oh. That makes sense. I'm seeing it.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to press the A button and wait 5 minutes for this thing to load, essentially. When you're in, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it's the startup,
It's that GTA 3 map building.
Where it's just like, yeah, we're just going to load the entire game in for the next 10 minutes, and then you can just do whatever you want afterwards. And it was just like, why is it taking so long to load? And then literally, as I was uninstalling, I was like, I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I just look and see what hard drive it was on before I
So many
continued to play
hours
this game?
wasted.
Because you did what the rest of us did. It's like, yeah, no, that checks. Back then, these load times were this
It
Yeah,
long.
loaded.
exactly.
Yeah, it took forever. And comparing that to like the things I've been playing, it's like, why didn't we do faster hard drives a lot sooner? Like,
Mhm.
it's unreal the difference it makes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change that phrase. It's not unreal. It's a RE engine how difference it takes. Um,
Uh,
I still can't believe that Monster Hunter is on that engine. By the way, still can't
it's
believe
wild.
that. Yes, it's Monster Hunter Wilds, the
I
newest
didn't
version.
even
That's
mean
what I'm
it.
playing.
I take it back. Boo! Hiss.
You have become what
But
you
yes.
hate the most.
No.
Yes,
I learned it from watching you.
from listening to me apparently.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Nimp, what have you been playing?
All right, in a shocking turn of events, I actually happened to have some free time this week.
Ooh,
So,
what a treat.
not a ton, but
I
I
mean,
did also beat.
when we reschedule Wayward Sons like 6 times.
Yeah, that's because I can't think past school and work. Yeah, there's a fun story for that. I'm the reason why Wayward Sons has gotten off track this month. Because I can't read a calendar. But anyway. So this week I have beaten Assassin's Creed Shadows as well.
Okay.
But it was kind of weird because I completed the main circle,
Mm-hmm.
and then the characters were kind of like, this doesn't really feel like the end.
Oh no.
And then it just kind of, you're just kind of there to go do whatever. And I'm like, wait, I didn't get credits. There's no new missions that popped up.
Right. Like, what
The heck is going on?
What did I miss?
So I look and I look, and then I start looking online. I'm like, what is going on? What is the actual main mission endpoint for this game? It turns out I have to do all of Naoe's personal missions, all of Yosuke's personal missions, and all of Jinjiro's personal missions. And I was like, no, I'm done.
I'm good. I had that moment. I played for maybe half an hour this week. No, it was longer than that because I went and did a giant castle. I cannot help myself. Whenever I run across, I haven't even unlocked Yasuke yet. I'm still just as Naoe.
But when you see a castle, you have to clear the castle, right?
Yeah, and like I get in this giant castle, and there's 3 of the like, what are the tougher enemies that you need to knock out?
Is it like the Daimyo Samurai for the
Yeah, the
legendary
Daimyo Samurai.
stuff?
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Samurai
there's just
Daisho or
3 of
whatever.
them. I'm a shadow in the night. Who can stop me? I didn't get spotted at all. I felt really great. But like, I leave that, and there's a marker on the map of like, hey, this dude wants to talk to you. I was like, perfect, let's do that. And it's a farmer, and he's like, hey, bandits, yada, etc., etc. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks, old man.
Please kill 75 bandits
Yeah,
in
and
the
I was
town.
like, I'll keep an eye out for it. And it brings me into that menu and adds a new circle, and just boop, 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 3 new missions. I was like, no, it starts. Why?
Yep.
No, what are you doing? Stop. Put that away. Get rid of that. I don't want that.
And I kind of enjoyed that, but it's just
There's
I
a lot
feel
of
like
circles.
there is a
Yeah.
lot of circles, but I feel like the main actual story is just not plotted out all that well.
Oh,
is the
sure.
problem. And the fact that I completed what has been considered to be the main story circle,
Yeah.
and the game was just kind of like, all right, go back out in the world and just go do stuff.
Right.
And it's
Go
like,
discover more. Wink.
but wait, did I just beat the game, or what's going on? So yeah, so I have no pull on wanting to do the other ones to see. I mean, from what little bit I had seen in the quest descriptions for all of those do sound interesting, but I don't want to spend another 20 hours on side missions so that way I can finally complete the last main mission so I can see credits roll. Like, I just don't care that much. And it's just
I will
a
say
weird way of doing it.
like the personal storylines of like Naoe, Yasuke, and Jinjiro are actually pretty good missions. Like they're all
Oh yeah.
relatively short, but they tell a pretty solid story kind of thing. It's a lot is the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because yeah, that's not to put shade on what side stories I've done for these characters, because like the characters are still great. I loved learning more about them and seeing them interact with each other. But again, like I just got to the end of the game and there's no direction on
Yeah.
if I beat the game or not. So
Yep.
so yeah, that is my thing with Assassin's Creed. It wouldn't matter if I went back anyway, because the next time I play another Assassin's Creed game, I'm going to completely forget everything in this one like I have with the other ones anyway.
Yeah.
So it kind of doesn't bother me that I haven't fully beaten the game or not. But I
Yeah.
will say, I've still enjoyed the game. If open world Assassin's Creed in Japan sounds interesting to you, give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not without a bunch of weirdness still. So
It's still got that Ubisoft all over it.
yep. The next game that I played, you don't have to pull a video for this because it's going to be super short. I did play a little bit more of Balatro.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much more of it I will actually continue to play. It is a fun, quick game, but since it doesn't seem to have any meta progression, that's kind of what pulls me through these kind of
Yeah.
games.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome to the Sicko Club.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know
But since it's-
that image of the dude outside of the window with the t-shirt saying Sickos? That's me.
But since this doesn't have that, though, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fun to go in there and do runs, but I like to be able to upgrade something to help make my progression just a little
Right.
bit easier. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, but, you know, just a little bit of something.
Right.
So I'm not going to crap on this. It is a fun game. It held my interest for a while. I did start playing since I had beaten the game with the red deck, I started playing with the blue deck. And I think I got up to like Ante 6
Okay.
before I completely lost the
Right.
thread on everything. There was one of the bosses, it went from like the small blinds was, hey, you're doing like you need 4,000 for this one, 5,000 for this one, but then the boss blind was like 20,000 because it
Yes.
was one of the skills that it had where it was like, it
extra
boosted
large
the
blind. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that was the one that I lost on. I'm like, okay, there wasn't really anything I could do for that.
Yeah, it's really
Whatever.
interesting because like I get what you're saying, and I think this is the thing that I wish more people played roguelikes, because I think it's really easy to find out what kind of roguelikes you want. Like, do you like something like Balatro where you are unlocking more stuff, and some of the jokers can make the game easier, but you're not like, okay, I beat the red deck on the highest difficulty, now every card is worth double value for the rest of the game. You know, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's you're kind of pushing yourself against the difficulty time and time again, and like that's something that I like. But I really respect that you went through this and played it, and you're like, I see it and I get it, and it's maybe not for me.
Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just
Yeah.
personal preference for me. Like I understand why everyone loves this game.
Mhm.
Like it's not a hidden secret of me just bumping in here and being like, no, this is garbage. I don't understand why you all, you know.
Right.
No, it's a fun game to play and easy to just shut your mind off, especially when you get really into a flow
Mhm.
and you just keep doing 2 pairs for like every
Yep.
run. So that's all you do. So it's easy to just shut your brain off and just start going through the motions of the game.
Well, and the great part too about Balatro that I really like is, number one, it's really small, and you
Yeah.
can hop back into it
Yep.
at any point. Where like, I got 30 minutes, I can maybe do like a run or two in Balatro, and if I win, cool. If I don't, cool. Like, it doesn't matter. I can play.
Yep.
I can play the red deck on the easiest difficulty and probably win, and just keep moving on with my day.
Yep, and I still have it installed. I haven't uninstalled it
Yeah.
at all because I may come back to it later
Yeah.
on. You know, I may just have that 30 minutes where I just need to shut my brain off and not think for a
Mhm.
moment. But my next game is where I definitely did that and completely lost track of time, and that is Halls of Torment.
Yeah.
I went full Vampire
Oh, the Diablo
Survivors.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've started playing this at 5 in the afternoon and didn't stop playing it until 11 at night.
Yeah.
and didn't realize that I had just completely zoned out and just kept playing.
That's the stuff.
So I have. I'm trying to remember the order I have all this in. I have unlocked the cleric, the archer, and now I have a character that shoots flames that I haven't tried yet. I just unlocked them.
It's like called Pyromancer or something. It has some
Maybe.
weird name like that.
Yeah.
I love that character so much.
So I kept rerunning the first map with the swordsman, and I was getting closer and closer to beating that boss. And then I did it.
Hey, nice.
And then that thing has a phase 2.
Yeah.
Which
Sure does.
outright killed me because I barely made it past the first one. I was like, come on. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So I'm like, well, let me jump into the second map. I forget what it's called, but something catacombs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me just jump in here. I actually have the one thing that I do like about this is it has in the top right like a current objective for you to be going after to just kind of help lead you.
Yeah. Or you can like select it from the square grid of like, this is what I want to do on this run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the objective it had me chasing was it wanted me to save somebody from this catacomb area. I'm like,
that's right.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's figure that out. So I find this dude, and yeah, in pure Diablo 1 fashion, it's just an iron cage with a dude in it.
Hello,
and
wanderer. I've been trying to forever.
And it turns into like an old RPG where it's like I got a picture of this dude and a wall of dialogue during
a low-res JPEG and just a lot of text.
And I'm like, oh man, this is actually pretty awesome. So he's sitting there giving me his whole spiel. I was like, go find the key to let me out. I'm like, all right, cool. Where's the key? And then a whole new icon pops up for me to follow. I'm like, all right, cool. I go follow that icon, and whatever this key bearer is, like, almost wiped me out. No problem. I was like, oh, okay. So I spent probably about a good 5 minutes fighting this one thing while trying to level up off of all the other ads that were around here. Finally killed it, got the key, go back, unlock the dude, he disappears, and then I died like almost right after that. Because I just wasn't able to keep up with it. It's like, all right, cool. So I get back, and what I have found out that I have unlocked is this guy is standing next to a well, and he's like, hey, believe it or not, this well goes to every level that you're going into.
Isn't that so weird?
Yeah. And some story about how he crawled into it and fell down and couldn't get back out, and that's how he got locked out down there, but he managed to climb back out when I let him go this time. So his whole thing is anytime you go into a level, there will be a well randomly on the map.
Yep.
And this well, you can send up any item that you get, like equipment item, and you can send it to him, and when you're done with a map and back on like the main splash screen, you can go talk to him, and any items that you have sent up you can buy from him, which permanently unlocks it, which means you can permanently equip items on your characters at the start of a run or before a run starts.
It's my favorite system in this game because the thing they don't tell you, and it took me a little bit of time to realize, you can create a loadout for each individual character class too. So it's like, oh, well, my sorcerer is different from my pyromancer, is different from my archer. I want them to have different sets of armor, because I don't think we talked about it last week, but you are finding and equipping armor in a run, including like upgrading your skills and finding new skills and stuff like that. So like it really is a Diablo Vampire Survivors bullet heaven thing where you're getting not only like spells but like full armor sets at the same time.
Yeah, and it wasn't laid out very clearly to me, but I was wondering, it's like, okay, are these permanently unlocked, or if my character dies, do I lose these items? So I loaded up, I grabbed the cleric, because I was like, let me play as a different character, because I've been playing as a swordsman for a while. Let me start out with the cleric, and I threw on like a pair of like crappy shoes that I had that were unlocked. I think it gave like plus 20 movement or something like that. It wasn't anything good. And that was going to be my tester for if I die, do I lose these or do they come back up?
Is this an extraction shooter?
Yeah. You do keep it. But anyway, so I start out as the cleric, and the cleric is just wiping the floor
Mm-hmm.
with these things compared to the swordsman. And I'm like, what is going on? Like the swordsman, it's a struggle at the start, but like the cleric outright
And you think
is
the
already
cleric
doing.
would just be like, heal, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So I start going through the second level, just wiping things out, and then I unlock. I think it's called Radiant Aura,
Yeah.
which is kind of like the garlic equivalent for
Yep.
Vampire Survivors, but it
100%.
works a little differently. Yeah. So it doesn't always. So basically, you get that aura, you get that circle around your character, and it'll shine. And when it shines, anything within that area, it will deal damage. I'm not 100% sure if it does knockback or not. I don't think it did when I was using it, but that may be an upgrade that you can get. So I was like, all right, cool. I've got that. Got a couple other things going on. And the cleric, I just wiped the floor with the boss for that catacomb area.
Nice.
Sweet. That's awesome. And I unlocked like a ton of stuff just playing as this character. Like,
Yeah,
cool.
like it's like you unlocked 15 new things. Like, oh dang. Yeah.
You've done all these challenges. You did like 15,000 damage with the Radiant perk or whatever.
Right.
So it's like, all right, cool. So then I switched over to the archer because I had an objective for get them to, I think it was like quick draw or quick hands version 5.
Mm-hmm.
So like, all right, knock that out. And the archer shoots out like 3 arrows at a time starting out. It's got pretty decent range and it goes through all the enemies. So if you have a group of enemies coming at you,
is my go-to.
Yeah, Archer's great.
yeah. So I started building my archer up so that way the critical chance was way up there and the critical bonus was up there. So I'm like constantly doing like crit hits with this archer, and it's great. And I get that unlocked, which unlocks more fun stuff. And the entire time I'm trying to like pick and choose like random bits of armor that I want to send back up the well because you can only do it once per level.
Right.
Or area that you go into. Once you've used it, it's gone for the rest until you die and go back
Yeah,
into
once
it kind
per
of thing.
run. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the bosses that I beat allowed me to pick a ring that increased, I can't remember if it was crit chance or crit damage by 50%.
Dang,
It was
okay.
50%. And I'm like, all right, that is going back up the
You're
well.
getting in the bucket. Let's go.
Yeah. So run back there, drop it in the bucket, send it up. Sweet. Finish my run, get back in there, go to buy it. This thing is like 15 grand. I'm like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
So that is a goal to work towards.
There you
go. But that was also the run. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I can't wait until you get to the point where you get spell variations like Spirit Hunter's Infinite Horde. That's where I felt like the game kind of really opened up for me of like, oh, you can get that aura thing, but every time it's doing its wind-up thing, it's moving towards enemies. And it's like, oh, jeez, okay. Like, there's some really cool stuff in the back half of this game.
Yeah, so that last run was when I unlocked whatever that pyromancer thing was. I'm like, well, that seems like an interesting character. I'll give that a shot next time. But that was when I had to stop because it was late at night.
Right. Forcing yourself to stop.
Other things. Yeah. So the last game that I have to talk about, kind of a lot like what Moon was saying, I'm trying to just focus on one major game at a time because I don't have a whole lot of time. And if I start splitting my focus, I'm going to have a bunch of games that I'm an hour into and I don't want to play anymore kind of thing. So
yeah,
I picked up Alan Wake 2 again.
Oh, okay.
I almost loaded that one up this week because I was like, yeah, I should really finish that one too.
I should really start that one, yeah.
So that I left off with Alan being in the subway. And that area is freaky scary.
Yep.
Which I think that's part of the reason why I stopped playing that for a moment. But I made it through all of that with Alan. It finally forced me to switch back over to Saga. Like, cool. So now played a Saga for a little bit. Got through some of her stuff, but you get to a point where they tell you, hey, now you can readily switch back and forth between Alan and Saga by talking to the mop bucket.
Of course.
Yep.
And I also completely forgot that, what was his name? Ati from
Control.
Control is in this game. because he's doing karaoke at a place that I had to go to.
Of course he is.
And I stood there and listened to him sing, and I'm like, I know this guy. And then he said something, and I'm like, it's the janitor guy.
He's back.
And I know we've seen him before too, because as soon as I had seen him, and as soon as that clicked, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He popped up briefly earlier in Alan Wake 2, and I don't remember why. I think it was in the studio section with Alan, way early on. But yeah, so they're still doing their crazy dumb stuff, and I watched a couple more commercials and things, which were hilarious, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm on. I wrote it down. Where did I just write it down? So I'm on Return 4 No Chance, which is like chapter 4 basically. It looked like there were about 9 chapters in Alan Wake, so I figured I'd just keep trying to do hopefully a chapter a week, maybe. We'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll get a couple more in. But there's the surgeon that you see at the beginning who tries to warn you about the darkness. Found him. Didn't end well for him.
I was gonna say, did the darkness get him?
Something happened. and now Saga is looking for the clicker from the first game.
Yep.
And when they brought up the clicker again, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that's right. I love how dumb and awesome the writing is for this game, where it's just a switch that's not plugged into anything that is the nuclear option for this video game.
Right.
Yep.
It's all the power of imagination. So yeah, so I am working back through here. I'm trying to think. I don't want to say anything because there was a lot of big spoiler stuff that kind of happened too, like right when I got through the subway. But there's a whole coffee world thing that I went through that was very funny, that I'm not going to spoil any of the stuff on. And I'm just at the point right now where I've woken back up as Alan, covered in like deer guts, and I'm figuring out what's going on now with him.
Okay.
And that's where I left off.
Interesting.
So yeah, more Alan Wake 2 in the future, probably an hour or two at a time.
There you go.
Yep.
Little bites at a time.
Yeah, and it's just been a lot of fun. And I remember too, they have like all those extra options for you to choose. Like they've got like the infinite ammo and all that stuff. Yeah. So if it's one of those things where you're not, because this is definitely more horror side. Like there were times where I was like, man, this is kind of starting to feel like Silent Hill in a weird way. So if you're not down with that kind of stuff, but you think maybe having like infinite health and infinite ammo would help get you through it,
right?
It's an option in the game, and it doesn't disable trophies or achievements.
Nice.
So if that's how it's going to get you to play this awesome game, go for it.
Right.
Be one with God.
That's
you
right.
know, I'm not going to tell you how to play your game. I don't care. So, but yeah, that's all I've been playing this week.
All right. I've got 3 kind of quick ones here. First one, Destiny 2. I got a chance to go through. I mentioned, I think maybe it was last week, about the Rite of the Nine event they're having, which is their kind of dungeon challenge event.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do the Explorer version of their dungeons, which is their learning version of the dungeons. Just mostly to see how kind of new players are going to interact with it and how it teaches players. The first dungeon they're doing is Spire of the Watcher, which is a dungeon I've done before. And I am actually pretty impressed by how Explorer mode works for this dungeon specifically. I don't think it's perfect, and I think there's room to grow, but I think it's a really strong start of like, one of the biggest complaints about Destiny overall is you need, for half of the stuff that isn't the campaign, I gotta watch a YouTube video for a guide on the dungeon before I go in. Like a lot of the dungeons and raids, I think you can go through and figure it out by yourself. But if you're a new player and you maybe don't know the game's overall kind of language of like, oh, we're gonna control a thing, we're gonna protect Ghost while they're doing this thing, we're gonna dunk a ball.
Yeah.
I think it can feel a little bit overwhelming, which is understandable. Or like if you need to play with a friend, and then the friend will show you how to do all this stuff. So I think the explorer mode stuff works really well. The intro of the dungeon here is, you're getting a buff from an enemy that drops it, and then you can connect these wires that have nodes and connect all 4 wires, and then the dungeon opens up. I think that works really well. I kind of wish that there was an option to, at least for this version of the dungeon, to be able to look around the encounter before you start it, because there's a lot of like, oh, I defeated this enemy and this thing fell, and as I got close to it, a text box popped up that explained, like, this is Arctrician, this is the buff that lets you do X, Y, and Z. But you're getting shot at by what feels like 200 enemies at the same time. And, like, you get over by the nodes, and it's like, you need to connect these nodes, and it is very helpful, but, again, you're getting shot by a lot of stuff at the same time. And in Explorer mode, if you're doing it solo, you do a considerably increased amount of damage, and the enemies do a lot less damage to you. So you're not really in a lot of trouble, but it's still a little bit overwhelming. They do that for all of the encounters in the dungeon. I actually really like one thing that they do, which is, I think for a lot of players, myself included, some of the stuff in dungeons that can be really frustrating is like, okay, you're going from encounter 1 to encounter 2, get there. Like, you're going to go through a bunch of rooms, and you're going to go through a bunch of corridors, and I'm going through air vents and stuff like that. And it can feel a little bit confusing. Like, where do I even start? Like, what am I doing? Where do I go? And the explore mode of this has a really great thing where it's like, I'm going to show you kind of the direction you need to go, or like the first door you need to go through, and then you kind of need to figure out how to get from there. So you're still getting that kind of exploration puzzle that I think is a part of the fun of the dungeon, but without standing in a room and being like, okay, there's like 5 air vents and there's a bunch of wind, like where am I supposed to even start? They get you started and say, go through this window, and then you can probably figure out kind of the jumping puzzle from there.
I was like, because I know with me, there was a lot of just dark air. Like when we were doing the duo things with my son, there was a lot of dark crevices, and you're on like a cliffside, and it's like, all right, negotiate this and figure out where you need to go. And I'm like, none of this looks like something I can land on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what is going to kill me and what isn't. So like, that's part of the reason. Like, I think the part of the fun of doing a dungeon is figuring out the path. But I think when you're learning it, it's okay to tell people the path starts over here. And instead of just like, okay, I'm going over. No, I died. Okay, I'm going over. Nope, that killed me too. Like, that's not as fun as like, okay, here's a clearly jumping puzzle. Now we can figure out how to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, because I don't think they need to go the route of put a yellow spray paint somewhere to show you this is where you go. It's just give me smaller jumping puzzles to start with. Yeah, so that way I know, okay, that rock I can land on, and it's not just going to physics me down to the bottom of the crag kind of thing.
Yeah, and they did have some interesting changes on mechanics. The second boss in the dungeon is a giant harpy, and you have to connect 4... You're on this like 4-way sort of bridge area. You connect all 4 of the paths, basically, using the mechanics from the first area. And then the boss comes over and you do a bunch of attacking. You kind of rinse and repeat. For this version, in the normal version, you connect 4, you fight the boss for a little bit. Connect 4 again, you fight the boss for a little bit, and kind of rinse and repeat. On this version, connect 4 for the first time, then when the boss goes immune, you only connect 1 more, and then you fight the boss again. So it's very much like, you know how to do the encounter. We're assuming you're solo. It's kind of a pain to connect all 4 of them every time, you just need to connect one more. So that was kind of neat. Of like, you're still learning, so like let's keep this train moving instead of like, nope, you got to do the whole thing. I did it solo, and I have a fairly good loadout, so like I feel like I was moving through pretty quickly, and it took me almost an hour on the dot, and I wasn't moving through this thing very quickly. So I was pretty impressed by how they did this and how they made that work. I really hope that I'm not even going to get into the conversation about doing it for raids. That's a much more complicated discussion than we have time for. But I really do hope that they have a version of this for every raid, at least going forward, if not sort of putting them for the ones that are already out. And there's 2 more dungeons that are going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks. It's Ghosts of the Deep and Prophecy. So it's 3 of the kind of older ones. So hopefully they do it for more, and I hope they extend the other difficulty options, because there's Explorer mode, there's Eternity mode, which is basically just the regular dungeon, and then there's Ultimatum, I think they call it, which is essentially the challenge mode. So like you're capped at minus 25 power level under the enemies or something like that, so you're kind of always on the back foot. I'd like to see if they could do that for all these dungeons going forward, like having those kind of breadth of difficulty options. I think it's pretty cool. So, yay Bungie. Next up, Forza Horizon 5, playing a bunch more of that. There's so much stuff in this game.
I mean, it's going to be your game of the year, and the fact that you are not going to stop playing it for a year.
Yeah, like I forgot how many things they put in of like, here's the Donut Club's high-low racing thing. Here's the history of Mexico. Here's the VW stuff, and like, it's just there's just so much stuff, and all of it is good, but it's like I'm trying to go through like all of the kind of story things that they do, where it's like, here's 5 chapters about Mexico's classic cars, and it's like, I'm not a car guy, but this is still kind of fun, versus like,
you want to know why the bug is so popular? Here you go.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think that's pretty cool. And I'm balancing that with like, you haven't finished all the dirt races yet. Here's 80 of those. It's like, oh my god, okay. It's like, oh, I did a street race, and it's like, yeah, here's a midnight battle, and it's like, oh my god, I totally forgot about those. Okay, we're gonna be doing those every once in a while. Like, I smashed all the XP and fast travel boards this week, and I forgot how devious 4 or 5 of those can be. And thankfully I remembered enough to be like, oh right, I have to like launch myself off of a mountain next to it and hit the one on the power line. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one sucks. Okay, let's just spend the next 15 minutes doing that. Okay. And it was kind of nice, because I talked about it on the Outcast, but I had, and this is a mea culpa for my next game, I had injured myself this week, and sort of like, okay, I need something that I can kind of spend a lot of time playing. Forza Horizon 5 is definitely that, of like, yep, this never-ending like march of races that you're just gonna go through and unlock a whole bunch of accolades by accident. It's like, yep, okay, that's cool.
It's gotta
I like
keep
it.
that knee up.
That is the one with the bug one, isn't it? That is the one with the Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, there's like a
mode.
VW history. I think one of the chapters is about it. Like, here's why the bug was so popular.
Modes.
It's not one of them. It's the whole thing. And let me tell you,
That's right.
there's something quite hilarious about a drag racing Volkswagen Beetle.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Beep, beep. Yeah. So and I'm still working on a lot of the Hot Wheels stuff. I think a lot of the more difficult options, or the accolades in there, they call them like tasks. They're still accolades. I think are really interesting. Of like, you need to complete every PR stunt in the Hot Wheels park with 3 stars. It's like, that means I gotta do drift. Okay, stupid drift. Okay, fine, I'll do it.
The worst thing about the Forza games.
They are. There was like 4 or 5 of them, I think. I got 3 stars on all of them. It's like, okay, that's fine. I can do 4 or 5 of them. I found a car accidentally that I really liked. That's really great at drifting. Fine, I just did it. Shut up, leave me alone. Um,
I think in like later DLCs, and you probably have it because you bought the Suckers edition.
Yep.
You will probably have specifically cars that are drift cars, where literally
Yeah.
you put your foot on the gas and the thing goes sideways.
And like I'm getting so many of them from wheel spins and super wheel spins where it's like the Forza edition of this car, drift edition. So like you can filter, the filtering for your cars is still really great. So it's like I want a car that's good at drifting. It's like, cool, here's the 10 you own, and then this button takes you to the in-game, not real money store. For like here's 35 more of them. So like that stuff works pretty well. And I'm going through a lot of like, there's some fun ones of like get from point A to point B in Hot Wheels Park in under X number of minutes and win every race as a with the Drivatar difficulty at highly skilled or higher. So like I'm having a little bit of fun of, look, I'm going to be honest, the difficulty's set real low on this game because I'm just in it to do some fun races and win by a mile.
Dude, even
sometimes
low,
you
they
just
can
need-
be a challenge.
Yeah, and like for those of you who are not our age, you might not know this terminology, but sometimes you just like to do a good old comp stomp. Like
Yeah,
sometimes that's
100%.
just what
Like-
you gotta do.
And like there's so many races in this game. I don't feel there's some racing games where it's like, okay, you got the 5 tracks in this game. I'm going to memorize every single turn of this track and I'm going to master every single turn of this and I'm just going to get it down. The great part about Forza Horizon games is they're just making races out of roads. So like half of these races you're never going to see this combination of roads again, which is great. But that also means I just want to win every single of these like 370 races in this game.
Well, especially the
can.
super long ones too, where
Yeah.
it's like you accidentally hit like a pylon and you went from first to 15th, and
Right,
there's
at
no way
minute
you're
23
catching up.
in this race.
Yeah.
And also doing some of those like races you get at the end, the like real long marathon ones, really made me wish for SSX3 to have a modern one where it's like, here's the ultimate race in this game. You're racing from the top of the mountain all the way to the bottom. It's like, oh, man, I miss that game so much. Jeez. All right.
Yep.
I wish they would do drivatars where you could just set your car on autopilot and it'll just drive the way that you've driven
There you
the
go.
entire time.
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting.
It's not exact, but there is brake assist and turn assist in the game, so
True.
you can,
Yeah.
which
That's true.
you know,
Yeah, you could probably.
It's just one of those weird things where it's like I want to get to a point where I'm basically training my drivatar,
right.
and then I get to a race and I could just be like, no, you just auto battle it
Yeah,
out and you
push
tell me
them-
what
push them all
happened.
out of the way. Yeah.
oh, you want AI to take over your job? I see how it
Yeah,
is.
exactly. Well, no, wait, no.
As long as I'm still getting paid.
There you go. So like that's a lot of what I'm doing is like I've finished the last race of the Hot Wheels, so I'm just kind of doing the rest of them. I'm not going for all of the accolades. That way lies madness. There's
No, dude.
thousands
No.
of them.
No.
One of the categories for anyone that hasn't played this, I opened up the accolades menu. One of the categories has 392 accolades in it. That's one of the 20 something categories of accolades. It's just like, if this is the only game you want to buy and play for the next 3 to 5 years, you can do that and you can get every single accolade. I'm not gonna. I have other things.
That ain't
to play.
me, bro.
Yeah, that ain't me. Like, go with God, but that ain't me. But like a lot of it is like, all right, there's still street races I haven't done. There's still there aren't danger signs I haven't 3-starred because please, danger signs are the best. But there's like trailblazer stuff I haven't done yet. I haven't 1-starred every PR sign in the game. Like, there's just still so much stuff to do, and like all the Forza Horizon games, it's just fun to drive around and run over a bunch of cacti and just jump over sand dunes and stuff. Like, it's just a great game to play.
See how far you can launch yourself off a mountain. And see
Yeah,
where you
exactly.
land.
Where it's like, oh man, I did that PR stunt and I did 1,350 feet on this one, but I can do better.
Oh, I'm
on
not
this
even
one.
talking a PR stunt. Like half
Mhm.
the time, I'm like battling trying to climb the mountain. It's like, no, I refuse to take this road. I am halfway up, going
Right.
this way, and then you launch yourself off by accident,
That's
and
right.
then now you're on the other side of the mountain,
Right.
but you're also back at the bottom.
Yeah. So it's honestly, I'm just having a blast playing it. And I feel like that's the thing I love about these games so much is just they're just fun to play, and the benefit of having it in this kind of complete edition here on the PS5, which you can get on the other platforms too, is there's just so much stuff. It's just a metric ton of things to do in this game, and they're all great. Except for the drifting. That stuff sucks. But
The
that's
drifting and what was the one you had to keep your speed at an average
speed
throughout like a
zones.
certain distance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of
God, I
those are sort
hate
of like,
those.
man, how am I supposed to like? I did 2 miles per hour off. I don't think I can get any faster on this road. Like, but I will. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
this game has made me wish that we still got Game of the Year editions of video games.
Right,
Or
right,
it's like, oh yeah, you waited 2 years. Here's the game and all the DLC that we released
right. And
for
every
it.
patch,
And
and it's $60. It's like
yeah,
yes, great, perfect.
yep.
I haven't even started the rally DLC because I wasn't really crazy about that when I played it on Xbox. I have it, so I'm going to start it at some point, but I'm kind of not racing over there to try it. But hopefully it clicks with me a little bit more this time. So,
Cool.
last but not least, blueprints. This is a safe space. I would appreciate no level of judgment. I mentioned that I was laid up injured this week. So I bought it on PC and started it back over because I need to play more blueprints because I need to see the ending of this game. Please don't judge me.
Oh,
Don't
so,
judge me.
so you're the reason why the news story came out this week that they're fixing the bug for the PS5.
That might have happened the day after I bought it. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, let me pull up their statement here. It's actually really interesting. So, they said here PS5 save rollback issue update. Our team have been working with Sony to try and resolve the issue. I believe we have discovered the cause of the problem. So, quote, it's a bit technical, but essentially a duplication of save data was interrupting the creation of new save information. PlayStation has stricter rules of when you're allowed to handle save data, and if a save is still in progress or hasn't been closed, it will automatically stop any subsequent calls. The more data that was in a user's blueprint save file, the more likely this interruption was to occur. End quote. That's really
Okay.
interesting, and now kind of makes sense of like the save works just got gummed up, and you just because of how PlayStation handles saving on its platform, I'm sure it's one of those things of like we're gonna try and protect save data. It just at some point was just like, nope, I'm full. I'm all
I wonder if
gummed up.
it's part of their thing to help prevent corruption, like save corruption.
Right. That's what I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they say that they think they have fixed it and they're testing it now. They originally had said they're being really careful with this because, of course, save data is like the thing you don't want to mess with. So they're
Yeah.
kind of taking their time to make sure that this fix is as clean as it possibly can be. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
like I mean, I'm okay with starting back over. So, but like, I don't. If everybody doesn't have to, then we'll be okay.
Yeah, but I did see you pop up playing on PC,
Mhm.
and then I saw that news story come out, and I'm like, oh, we have Boston to thank for this.
Yeah, my purchase,
Yep.
and like obviously, I'm okay with spending $30 on this. I got it for free on PS Plus. That free is in sneer quotes if anyone wants to be terrible about it. But like I'm happy to support the devs and say like, okay, here's some $30. It runs really great on PC. I of course have my notebook of like a Beautiful Mind notebook here of all the solutions to all this stuff. So day one I'm unlocking half of the stuff that I unlocked before, which feels great. So I'm on day 45, I think. I've had some exceptionally terrible runs. But like I have made a bunch of progress, and I've actually, part of it was I wanted to do this because I now know kind of what I'm looking for in the game. So as I'm going through, I'm like, oh, here's a bunch of solutions to stuff I'm working on at the very end game. Now that's filling in a bunch of stuff that I have like one important page that's basically like a solution to kind of a larger end game puzzle. I was like, all of these little kind of things that I'm finding in the game is all filling in information on this puzzle. So like now I'm getting closer to solving that. So whenever I can hop back on the PS5, I can knock out a bunch of that and make a bunch of progress already. So it's not without its usefulness. Also, I just like playing this game. It's also, and it's a very kid-friendly game. So like I can just play this, and like we were talking about with Monster Hunter Wilds, I can just pause it at any time. And when you pause it, this is a good note for people that are playing Blueprints. When you pause the game, the in-game timer does not stop. But it's okay, because if you're trying to do anything time-related, just start a new run, and it's a brand new day. So like it's never really a problem, because you can just start a new day, and you'll run into that puzzle eventually again, which is pretty great. I really love this game. I really want to talk more about it, but again, the stuff I'm doing at the end of the game here is super spoiler and might make me sound like I'm losing my marbles talking about it, because like any of these end of the puzzle games, you're just like, oh, well, if you look here and you look at this thing, it gives you the real solution for this thing. It's just like, okay.
I was gonna say, if you tilt the camera to your left, is there a whiteboard in the background?
No, I wish I had my notebook up
There's
here.
a lot of yarn.
Because
There's a lot of red yarn.
I could show you how many pages have like pictures scrawled in the margins, and it just like it'll have like 3 options of like, I wish I could say some of the options, but those are spoilers. But it's sort of like question mark and this question mark, or is it this? And it's like, I hope nobody reads this notebook. It's just, it would be like, yes, officer, this exhibit A right here, he's completely lost it. And it's like, yes, I have.
No, that's when the doctors will see your scribbles and be like, "Yep, this is when he started getting dementia."
That's
right.
That's when he started losing it. Is all Blueprints' problem. So, I'm still having a blast with this. I think this speaks to how much I love this game, of just like starting back over. Sure thing. Let's do it. Let's spend another X dozens of hours in here and kind of get back to... That's why I haven't played Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed, and Alan Wake 2. Like this laundry list of, Expedition 33. I haven't made any progress. I need to find out. I need to find out what's at the end of this game. I need to know. So
the only reason why I'm not playing 33 is because we only have the one physical copy, and my son's still playing it. So I'm just waiting for him to beat it.
Yeah, right. The household loan program of like, all right, I'm checking it back into the library. Here we go. Finally,
pretty much.
Yeah, back in circulation.
But I can tell you, my son's having a ton of fun with Expedition 33.
Yeah, I really want to get back into it before I like lose the muscle memory of it. All right, that's all I've been playing this week. Let's take a break.
I'm glad it still worked out for you replaying it, though.
Yeah, like I was a little worried that like when I was gonna go back in and play it, like maybe the kind of going back and playing through it, I'm like, maybe this game actually kind of sucks. Wasn't I just like, was I a little bit too into it? I'm like, no, this game kind of stinks. I don't really like it. But nope, still really loving it. It's on Game Pass and PS Plus for everybody if they want to also hop in there.
So,
Nice.
did you guys know there's a new Final Destination movie coming out?
Yeah.
I saw one of the log trucks with the
That's
the
what
banners
that
on
was
it.
what I was going to bring up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was waiting if you were going to pull up a third dad joke thing here. And
Oh,
I was
no.
like, I'm
No.
leaving the room. Yes, I
Would've been
did.
amazing.
I did see it because I saw a really short ad on, it might have been Instagram or it might have been Twitter, where it was just somebody broke a bottle in like a bar well, you know, where the ice and stuff is.
Yeah.
And somebody was reaching in there and there was like this big fragment of a shard of glass. And I was like, that's a really great ad for a Final Destination movie. Also, stop it. Stop doing
Yeah.
it. Stop it.
Yep. They literally are putting log trucks out, dude. Trucks carrying logs, driving the freeways with Final Destination written on the back of them. It's like, nope. You literally
Also-
traumatized an entire
You
generation
traumatized a
of people.
generation with a trailer. When that
Uh-huh.
like we're traumatized from the trailer alone.
So I didn't know that there was another Final Destination coming out, and I saw one of those log trucks, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of a sick joke," but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then I saw, I think it was like a day or two later, there was like a random ad that popped up for it. I'm like, "Oh, that was legitimate." I just thought it was some dude being an ad.
You monsters. Oh
Yep.
man. Okay. Are you guys ready? Wrap this up. Well, I don't know what we're gonna do about news stories. We're sort of running a little long here.
That's fine if you don't want to do news stories, considering you didn't even give us show notes this week.
Let me type this. Let me type that.
It's fine. Just don't even
I t-
bother. Just
I
just
totally
read the
sent
releases
them.
and
I
let's
don't
go.
know what you're talking about. It wasn't just really right now.
Yeah,
All right.
look at that.
Oh, that's funny. I just got a notification.
Yeah,
That's
huh.
so weird.
Look at
Yeah,
that
it must.
update.
It was delayed in the Google. It's just taking their time.
Just needed to refresh. That's
yeah,
all it was.
it's just really.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Just check your spam folder. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of May 19th, 2025. Roadcraft. That's all one word. Comes out PS5, Series consoles, and PC. If you watch a trailer for this, you'll have the same question I am, where I was like, dang, this really looks like SnowRunner or MudRunner. Guess who it's developed
Because it
by?
is.
Saber.
Yeah,
I was going to
Interactive.
say it's probably the same people.
This might be this might be the one that gets
It might be the
me,
one for you.
because
I mean,
it's those
It's a positive message. It's a positive message.
but it's those games plus you're rebuilding areas after some sort of like disaster or apocalypse or something. So like you're going through and you're like building bridges and paving roads and you're like making the infrastructure for stuff to get delivered. And I was like, oh, is this a Strand game? Is this
So
I mean,
the
it
second
kind of
Strand
is.
game?
this is what I felt was kind of missing from SnowRunners when I was playing that. It was like,
Right.
yeah, it's cool that I can take this Jimmy over this mountaintop and back around, but like there's no reason to besides to just do it.
Right.
But now when they're like, oh yeah, no, you're actually like rebuilding the infrastructure and all that stuff.
I
I'm like,
mean,
that's
you're
that's what I
literally-
want.
You're building bridges, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Keep on keeping on. But also like you're planning delivery routes for trucks and like trying to make the route the most effective it can be. And I'm like, God, why you do this to me?
And
it's
you
a
know-
MudRunner city builder. Is that
Yeah,
what this
no,
is?
stop.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. And you know
Yeah.
there's going to be a ton of DLC. Like, it's going to be supported.
I'm so weak. City building in JRPGs and like infrastructure management and this stuff. That's my weakness, man. Speaking of city building in JRPGs, Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, comes out PS4, PS5, Series console, Switch, and PC. This is the sequel to the surprisingly huge 3DS city life farming sort of
Thing.
lifestyle JRPG made by Level 5.
I mean, I'm just gonna wait for the sequel, the pirate-themed one, Fantasy Life II.
No. Leave your dad jokes in the Outcast where they belong.
No,
But this is pretty interesting. I feel like I really wanted to play the first game, but I sort of never got around to it because I think it came out on the 3DS by the time I was like largely done playing 3DS stuff. But this has always seemed like a combination of like your Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon sort of thing, but it's a hack and slash RPG at the same time and like a dungeon crawling sort of thing. So this is one that people seem really, really excited about in a way that it's like when a new Animal Crossing comes out and people are like, yeah, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, there's more of you here excited about it than I thought. Okay.
Yep.
So that's coming out this week. And last but not least,
You want to bring up, hang on,
Yes,
real
go ahead.
quick before you move on to the next game.
Yes.
Roadcraft is only $39.99.
Why did you have to do that? Stop it. Stop. That's for the listeners.
Because
That's
I
not
may
for
be
me.
buying it, and that may be what
That's right.
I'm going to be talking about for the next 6
I
months.
might be checking out in the PSN store right now. Maybe. All right, and our last game here, certainly not least, Monster Train 2, coming out this week. PS5, Series consoles, Switch, and PC. It's time to raise hell in heaven, it says. So it's Monster Train.
Go check out We Roguelike It, where we did Monster Train 1.
Yep, weroguelikeit.com. And we played that game and went, oh, dang, this game is really good. People were right. Every once in a while we do play, we talk about this on the show, every once in a while we do play a game, like a critically or kind of fan-beloved game on We Roguelike It, and we're like, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't...
I mean, yeah, we definitely have that response.
Yeah. But every once in a while we do play a game where like, oh no, yeah, people were like Balatro is one of our big ones where it's like, all right, let's see what this card game is, and we're like, whoops.
Go check out weroguelikeit.com and check out the top 10.
Yeah. Luck Be a Landlord is a recent one of just like, oh dang. People were right. This game is really good. Oh man. Yeah, but that's Monster Train 2. I thought this was in early access. I'm 95% sure it's the full release, especially because Sony doesn't allow early access stuff on their platform. So
Yeah.
okay. I was originally going to talk about a bunch of news stories. I'm unfortunately out of time, which means
Just give us the headlines.
Bungie stole art again for the fourth time. They stole a bunch of art for Marathon from a Scottish artist. And before you say, oh, they just took inspiration, no, her like logo and stuff was in the game in the alpha, which led to the most awkward development showcase that they had this week, where they can't show footage of the game anymore, so they just showed 2 people talking on a camera in a call with about 7 people. You shouldn't go watch that. 2 Switch accessibility features announced: text-to-speech for game chat text. So the typing text when you're doing the game chat, like screen sharing thing, and live captions for game chat, voice chat, which is huge. I'm happy to see more live captions. More platform holders should be doing that. I think that's really great. And then Square Enix announces new business plans for more quality over quantity, which is fine on their face, but unfortunately they've mentioned that as a response to that, they're going to stop outsourcing games and stop working with external developers. I think that's kind of a 2-pronged concern of we have gotten a lot of really good stuff from external developers, and that means that Square is probably going to be putting more of their eggs in less baskets of, Final Fantasy VII Reunion better do really well because that's the game they're putting out that year. And I think that's...
Well, it's also only coming to one platform, probably.
Well, and in here, they've also had the lip service again of like, of course we're putting stuff on multiple platforms. Why wouldn't we? Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming on Switch too. And it's like, great. There's a platform you're missing, bro. So, like, you should do that too. So that's... I get where they're coming from, because Square Enix is a beast that can never be sated, especially from their overseas developers that they have largely just gotten rid of. But I am concerned that Square getting rid of their kind of smaller development titles, which is my concern here, might be a negative, I think. So we'll see how that goes overall. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Patreon over at e1m1.cash. $5 a month tier is over there. That gets you everything. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated. New Game Club episode out now. Our next game is Despalote. You can go check that out. We're going to be playing that for the next month. I think that's it. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 Okay. Nimp, what are your titles?
I have. They got what plants crave.
Okay. I don't think we can do
Big
that.
Crown. Big Crown. No, the food in the oven. I learned from watching you, and that way lies madness.
Okay, Moon, what do you have?
Big Crown, too much working. GTA problem. It's wild. You've become what you hate the most. Too long, but I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Put that away. Welcome to the Sicko Club. Launch myself off a mountain. Suckers Edition, Comp Stomp, and That Ain't Me, Bro.
There's a soundboard in here. Big Crown and That Way Lies Madness.
I really like Comp Stomp. Like, it's got a really good mouthfeel on it.
Mm-hmm. Is that like something
Bad terminology now?
Yeah, is this like been co-opted by the Nazis or something?
So far, no.
There you go, there's
Apparently
a
it's
title.
World of Warcraft
Co-opted.
thing.
Co-opted by the Nazis.
Yeah.
There you go. There's our
That's
title.
That's just what we call social media now. Heyo.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that's just really Twitter. I like Big Crown. I think Comp Stomp is also good. Is there anything else that stood out?
Nope. And
I like
looking
Welcome
up,
to the Sicko Club just because I love that image.
That's true. We have a club.
looking up Comp Stomp, there doesn't seem to be anything weird.
It seems like
right
it's
now.
still the correct.
It's still referencing the
terminology.
World of Warcraft
Okay.
stuff. So
Okay. Which one are you guys leaning towards?
Dealer's pick.
I'm gonna flip a coin.
heck yeah.
Is it? Sorry, audio listeners.
Uh-huh.
Is it just me, or is my mustache very vaudevillian, like right now, with its huge tail off
Uh-huh.
to the sides?
You're like a Wild West oil magnate.
You think I should take the beard all the way down and just have the vaudevillian? Like,
Oh,
mustache
yeah.
in the
There you
future?
go.
Gonna go for the
future?
Colonel.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You could.
It looks like Comp Stomp won. Comp
Right.
Stomp. That was Tails, and Tails won. Good job, Tails.
I'm ready.
Did it again. Oh, okay.
I got nothing right now. Oh. Let's see.
Comp Stomp.
I'm eating gummy sharks.
Well, why wouldn't you? I was having some Swedish fish the other day, and I had like a handful of them, just to be completely transparent here. And then I was like, what's the serving size for
It's like 3.
Swedish fish? And it was like 5, and it was like 200 calories. And I was like, okay, putting these guys down. Anywho's.
So
Never-
I'm lucky
never
'cause
seen you
this
again.
This doesn't have a set. Oh wait, there's more on the bottom.
Oh, no.
No, yeah, of course it does. I'm sure it's on a
Oh,
website
boy.
somewhere.
I got bad news for you guys.
It's 3. It's literally 3, and I've had like 9.
Oh,
I opened this box yesterday.
it's about
What is it a box of?
halfway full.
Gummy sharks.
Gummy
And
sharks.
it was
Oh, okay.
literally full to the brim yesterday.
Oh, boy.
That's why we can't buy gummies in this household.
Yeah, 100%. I can't be trusted with them.
I try not to for this exact same reason.
Yep.
I was I have something, but also,
Mhm.
I was telling somebody at work, it's like, yeah, my control method is to not buy the junk food.
Yeah,
And everyone's
don't
like,
have it
well,
in the
you
house.
exactly, and everyone was like, well, control how you eat it. And like, I can't.
I'm not
That's
going into the
why,
casino. That way I won't
yeah.
gamble. Like, I'm not going
So
there.
if I really push myself, yes, I could control myself to not eat that entire bag of jalapeno kettle chips. But that bag is not making it to see
That's
tomorrow.
right. That's right. That's right. Oh man.
But yes, I
Okay.
am ready now.
All right. Moon, are you ready? I don't remember.
Yep.
We were talking about food. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 917 for May 19th, 2025. Comp Stomp.
15 minutes, no rush, don't matter against them.
A little too close to curb stomp, and it puts a feeling in my chest.
Went real dark with it.
Thank
Dang.
you for ruining the title.
Jeez. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Oh.
Don't watch American History X if you don't want to see
Nope.
a good curb stomp.